Hello boys and girls, welcome back to another tutorial. It's been a while, but I've got something pretty special for you today. Today I'm going to show you how to build a new wither farm. A while back I came up with a sweeper design for a wither skeleton farm, and it was pretty cool, but you know what? Things have changed in the game since I built that. Some of it doesn't work anymore, and frankly, there's better ways to do it nowadays. Now we have a few new blocks to play with. So, stick around. I'm going to show you how to build this thing. If you're going to build a wither skeleton farm, you need to find one of these first. A nether fortress. Now I've removed all the blocks other than the nether fortress here to make it easier to see what this looks like. The reason you need to find a nether fortress is because wither skeletons will only spawn within the bounding boxes around each feature of a nether fortress. Even if you remove the nether fortress and rebuild it somewhere else, wither skeletons will only spawn within the original bounding box of the original features in your world. So it doesn't do you any good to just build one of these somewhere else. You have to actually find one. And ideally, what you want to find is something like this, where you have two intersections next to each other. And the reason you want to find an intersection is because of all the features in a nether fortress, the crossroads have the most surface area. They're a 19 by 19 square centered about this block, right? So you can actually extend this platform out in a square like this, and then connect that over to here. There we go. And just, build a square that way, and that becomes your spawning pad. Now, I'm going to go ahead and remove everything from this world except these two intersections so that we can start working on it and just make it easier to focus on the things we care about. I'll be right back. All right, we've gotten rid of all of the rest of the stuff for miles and miles around, and what I've done here is I've put in this platform to show you the bounding boxes for these. And we're going to go ahead and make this spawn floor. This whole area here can spawn wither skeletons. But in addition to this spawn floor, we can actually build one 2, 3, 4 blocks up and 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks down. Now I've built this floor out of top slabs, but you could use any solid block. Top slabs is kind of nice though because it's cheap. You can create 6 top slabs for every 3 stone blocks, and stone blocks are really easy to get. If you don't know how to do that really quickly, make yourself a stone generator. Go Google that. I've got a video that'll show you how to make a smooth stone generator. You can get so much stone that way. Or you can use whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Any solid block will do. If you decide to use slabs, make sure that they're top slabs, because lower slabs, like that one, that'll block spawning. So you need the top slabs. So I'm going to go ahead and build 3 spawn floors just like this one. I've gone ahead and left the nether brick here so that you can see where the boundaries of the original crossroads were. And of course I've removed the railings here as well. But yeah, so that's 1 spawn floor. Let's go back and put in the other 2. And just like that, we have 3 spawning floors. All right. So that's where everything's gonna spawn. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to build some sweepers that'll push all the mobs off these platforms. But in order to do that, we need a space for them to pass. So what we're going to do, and we need to enclose the area. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a wall all around it. But, and this is very important, because you're going to have slime blocks passing through here. You need to use some sort of a block that won't be affected by slime blocks. A real cheap idea is to use melons. That's a really good way to go because they're relatively cheap. You just grow them and harvest them and off you go. A good melon farm will get you tons of these guys. But you could use obsidian, or you could use you could use furnaces or anything that won't be moved by slime blocks. I'm going to use melons. Now you got to remember your slime blocks are going to be passing at this level, so not on the ground because otherwise they'd stick to the floor, and not above. They're going to be at this level, so that's where you need to build this. And they're going to be passing along the sides as well. So what you want is you want to have a row of blocks that can't be moved all along this side, and you want to have 2 rows of blocks that can't be moved all along this side, like this. And then when we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and put top slabs over all of this right up here, so that nothing will spawn on these things, and so that the things inside, the blazes that are inside, can't fly out. All right, so go ahead and build your fences around each level, put your lid on the top, and then the other thing when you do that, what I want you to do is knock out this last row of spawning on this level. So all of these guys, knock them out. Do the same thing at the bottom right here, knock them out as well, like that. And then go all the way over to the other side here and knock this guy out. And then just for good measure, assuming you left these blocks here, replace this last row with top slabs. Just this last row. The rest can be solid blocks, but this last row here ought to be top slabs. The same for the top row, and this one doesn't matter, but the top one does need to be. This all needs to be top slabs as well, right? Just this last row. And then the last thing I want you to do before you enclose all of that is I want you to take any surface that these guys are going to drop on, like right here, put 2 rows of slime blocks there if you can, just like this. And what that means is when we're going to push mobs off the end here, and we want them to fall on the slime blocks because then they won't take damage. And because the idea is to just kind of keep them from taking damage as much as possible while we get them down here. So on that row down there, you're going to need to replace those last 2 rows with slime blocks, and you're going to want to replace these last 2 with slime blocks. So right there and over there and all the way across here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and then I'll show you what I mean when I log it back in. It'll be obvious what I'm talking about. See you in just a minute. And I'm back. And when you're done enclosing everything, it should look something like this. You don't have to fill this with glass. In fact, you could leave it open if you want. The problem with leaving it open is that you're going to get blaze spawning in there. And if they see you through the openings, then they might shoot at you. So this will probably make it a little bit safer for you if you close it all off. But you don't have to. Do leave this end, these slots open here and here and here, because that's where we're going to put our sweepers. And we need the same thing down here as well. Here and there and there. Those need to be kept open. But you'll see we've got a deal where we can push everybody over to this side and then they'll fall down. And we can push everybody back over to this side and then they'll fall down. And then we can push everybody back over to this side and then they'll fall down again. And because they're landing on these slime blocks every time, then they won't take any damage from that. They might take a little bit of damage if up here at the top the sweeper goes through them, but it shouldn't be a whole lot of damage, and so they should still survive the whole thing. Now we need to build a drop chute for these guys, and this is where we have to be a little bit careful. What you want to do is from this spot right here, you want to go down exactly 24 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 22, 23, 24. Now I've used different colored blocks there to make it easier to see how far to go down, but obviously you can use whatever blocks you want. You don't even need to use glass. You can use whatever you would like to use. And but that's all you get. That's all you need to do. Put that down there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to enclose this side and this. We're going to enclose this whole chute all the way down to the bottom. And then down here at the bottom, this is where we're going to put our collection system. And then this is where our hoppers are going to be to collect our loot. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and just lay out a row of hoppers here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 hoppers. Should line us up right with this one. And it does. Okay, So lay out a row of 19 hoppers there. Now, if you want, you can build a sophisticated collection system over here. You don't have to. Actually, for now, let's do this. Let's put a chest there just for now. I don't want a trap chest. I want a regular chest. Give me a chest. We're going to come out here. We'll put a double chest right there. And this guy will lead into it. Like that, and you can just collect all your loot here. Now, if you want to, you can run this out to a sorting system to pull things out. Like one idea that might be a good idea would be to run a row of hoppers over this and put a single hopper underneath with a wither skeleton skull in it and a couple of blocker items. And that way you can pull out all the wither skulls, and then everything else will go into the chest. Or you can like pull out the wither skulls with a sorter and throw everything else into some lava, or do whatever you want to do. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and put a chest there. So some collection system goes there. And let's go ahead and build out the rest of this. We're going to bring all the glass down to about this level on all sides, and then we will talk again. All right, now we've got everything all enclosed, and now we need to decide on which side of this you want to stand. I'm going to stand underneath it over here. So I'm going to build my AFK platform, or actually not my AFK. I'm going to build my killing platform, or call it what you will, on this side. Now, if you've built all the way down here, you want to get rid of this bottom row. So just knock all of this out, because you're going to need to be able to get in there to collect the guys and kill them. And then what you want to do is right up here, you want to put some sort of a solid block. So let's use for this, let's use not white wool. That's a horrible idea. I'm going to go ahead and use iron blocks just because it'll be easy to see where it is. We're going to place a row of solid blocks right here. Although, to be honest, you might have found it easier to do that a little later. Because what we need to do over here, we need to knock this row of guys out. Right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a bunch of sticky pistons facing into there. So we're going to have to pull this one out too for now. So take out those bottom two rows of glass or whatever you got. And then what we're going to do... jumping around all over the place. My performance is suffering. Great. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a row of sticky pistons right there, and we're going to put a row of solid blocks behind them. So let's put in the solid blocks first just to make things easy. And now it's easy for us to... Oops, sorry. My bad. We need to go two behind it. There. Sorry. So you got a row of blocks and then a sticky piston like this. Row of blocks, an air gap, and a sticky piston. We're going to go all the way across here. So there's like 19 of these dudes. Gone too far. That should be 19. Yep, there we go. Then we're going to put in a row of sticky pistons. Like that. Right there. And then we can go ahead and put this row of glass back that we had there to begin with. Just to seal this all up. That'll keep items from flying around when we use this thing. Okay, so that's where our sticky pistons are going to go. And then the next thing that we want to do is put a row of redstone torches all across it, right here. And a row of redstone dust all along the top. So coat this with redstone dust. Dust, 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 dust. Boom! Yeah! Okay, now we need our platform to stand on over here. So let's take, we're going to take a stone slab. And what we're going to do, we're going to put this guy right there. And then we're going to have a guy to stand on right there. So when we use this, we'll be standing on this slab and we'll be killing the skeletons through the gap there. So let's go ahead and build this out. that. And then we'll put a row here. And I'm using slabs so that things can't spawn on it. Keep it spawn free. Might as well. Here, we'll pull it back a bit too. Why not, huh? Like that. And there we go. Lovely jubbly. So there, we got a little platform to stand on, and we got all that. Okay, now what these pistons are going to do is these are going to kill all of the blaze and the pigs and all the other stuff that we don't really want. So we're going to use, that's what that's going to be for. And then we got a little place here to collect our loot. And if, like I said, if you want, you can build an elaborate sorting system or whatever off of there, whatever you want, doesn't matter. All right, so now, one other thing. Sorry, before we do, one other thing that I would recommend you do is I would recommend that you cover all of those hoppers with a carpet. You don't really have to, but it's kind of a nice idea. So let's go ahead and get a carpet, and we'll pop that in there. Again, this is an optional step. There's really no need, no reason you should feel you have to do that. But it'll kind of make it look a little nicer, and it'll give the guys a place to stand, and why not? So there you go. Now we got to build the sweepers. So let's go up top. Okay, so what you're going to do is we're going to build a couple of sweeper machines. We're going to start here at the end. We're going to count 9 from here. And let's get some observers. We're going to need some observers and some sticky pistons and some other stuff. Well, we'll just start with the observer. We're going to count 9 from here. Yeah, 9 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to put an observer facing, let's put it there, I guess. We have an observer out facing that way, yes. And we want, is that the 9th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I did that wrong. We want it there. And then we're going to come around in here and put another observer on this side facing in that direction. And then we'll come back out and we'll replace those pumpkins just like that. All right. And then what we're going to do is from right here, we're going to put 9 slime blocks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slime blocks. Just like that. And now from here, we're going to do 10 slime blocks right there in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that should completely cover the gap. So 10 and 9. And then we're going to take these observers. We're going to do exactly the same thing, only we're going to do it right here. So this guy faces out. Sorry, this guy faces in. This guy faces this way. And this guy is going to face that way. Got it? All right, so now on this side, what we're going to do is we're going to put a solid block right there. And then we're going to put a lever on it and turn the, we'll put the lever right there, turn that on. And then we're going to get a stone slab, which we're going to put right there. And on this, we're going to put a redstone repeater on 4 ticks, just like that. And now that we've got all that in place, we're going to do the last little bit. We're going to put 1 sticky piston there facing that way. And we're going to put 1 sticky piston here facing that way. All right, so there you have your first sweeper. Now let's go around to the opposite side. Right here. And now what we're going to do is you're going to look for that. Well, here, let me show you. You're going to look for this observer, the one that's where the output is. And you're going to come straight back from that observer right here. this hole. Yep, that's the one. Ah! Let me out. There we go. And you're going to put a block right there. And then we're going to come over here and do just like what we did over there. We're going to put a redstone repeater set to 4 ticks right there. Okay, guys, I messed up. I want you to take these and I want you to pull them back two farther. So this guy comes out here instead. Just like that. Okay, so we've got that there, that there. Now we can come over here. We can give this a quick test. Go over here, throw the lever, and this is built backwards because I'm an idiot. Okay, there we go. I fixed it. All right, so let's put our sticky pistons back. All right, my bad. I am sorry. I told you to build that exactly the wrong way. That block goes there. All right, so that block there. If you build it wrong, you can fix it by breaking the sticky pistons and reconnecting everything and then putting the pistons back. So now we should be able to test this. If I throw this switch, it should travel all the way across. And this is why we needed pumpkins here. It should travel all the way across the other side. Now note, you could build this as long as you want. It doesn't have to be just 2 intersections. You got a spot with 3 intersections, build it longer. You only have 1 intersection, you can build it shorter. And then it'll come over here, and that'll trigger that repeater, which sends it back the opposite way. Okay, now the last thing we need to do over here, though, is we need to put a slab on top of that to keep things from spawning there. And this guy should go all the way back. And he will hit this and repeat and go back the other way. There you go. And now if we throw the switch to hold the repeater on, this guy will actually stop when he comes back. So you'll see he'll go all the way over. He'll hit that, and that'll send him back. Just like that. Pretty cool, huh? And now when he comes back here, because we've got this repeater stuck on, when he gets over here, he will stop here. There you go. Stopped. Okay, so now I want you to build this same thing at every level in exactly the same spot. So what we did here, do it here and do it here. And then we will talk. All right, now that we have all 3 sweepers in place, then we need to hook them all together. And the easiest way to do that is to start down here, place a torch, place a block, place a torch. Make sure you leave these all on so that you don't accidentally send those sweepers off. Place a block, place a torch. And then the last thing we need to do is we need to spawn proof this. So we're going to put a half slab there. We don't need to do anything with those because nothing can spawn on those. But let's go ahead and take this roof and pull it back over those guys like this so that nothing will spawn on that. Just like this. And we'll go and do it on this side too. That'll make sure nothing spawns there. And then we probably ought to come down here and do the same thing right here. If you don't do this, then you run the risk of having zombie pigmen and ghast and blaze and whatnot all spawning on your slime blocks. And we don't want that. All right, so once you have everything in place and the torch tower is all this far, you can take off these top 2. And you can throw this bottom one, and they should all go off at once. And we can come down to the other side. And unless we've put a block that'll interfere with the sticky piston, this should just turn right back around and come all the way back. And there we go. And back it goes. And then it will come all the way back, and it will stop. There we go. Now we just need to run this power all the way down to the bottom so that we can build a mechanism to launch it all. So let's just go ahead and start building a torch tower down. All right, there we go. We're going to go down right to this level here. And then we're going to do one more thing. We're going to build a redstone line that comes out under our floor to turn the whole thing on right from here. We'll put it right there. This gets a lever right there. And we're going to coat this with redstone dust, like this. Boom, like that. And this. So there you go. So you end up with a power ladder that goes all the way down to this level and all the way over to that lever there. And now we can remove this switch here. Don't need it anymore. And now we can turn the sweepers on and off from this switch down here. So if I throw this switch down here, that'll turn the sweepers on. And there they go. And if I throw the switch again, that'll turn the sweepers off and they'll go back to the home and then stop. All right, now the last thing that we need to do is we need to build a timer circuit that triggers this guy. The last thing we need to do is build a little hopper clock. So off of this guy here, build a 2-wide platform that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. And we're going to build this little hopper clock here. I'll just stand here. You can see everything, so it's pretty easy to place. This sticky piston there, sticky piston there, 2 hoppers pointing into each other, comparators pointing into the blocks, redstone dust there, redstone dust there. This redstone dust is normally powered by that torch, which causes this whole thing to shut down. Then over here, you're going to put a sticky piston facing up with a block on it, a repeater set to 4 ticks into a block, then into a half slab, half slab, half slab, half slab with a repeater on it. Doesn't have to be a half slab. This can be a full slab, but you want these to be half slabs just to avoid any chance of quasi-conductivity there, although it shouldn't be a problem. Point that into there. And it's important that it be here and no farther because the signal has to reach all the way to this piston over here. And then the final thing is you're going to put a full stack of something in there. Doesn't really matter what. But when you do, it should cause all these pistons to fire. And then everything should be just as you see it here. And then the last thing that we need to do when we're all done is we need to make sure we spawn proof the rest of this. Let's just put down some half slabs here just to make sure that nothing can spawn down here. So we're just going to cover all of that. This should be okay because it's got redstone on it. And that, of course, is okay because pistons are transparent blocks. So that's it. We should be done. We should be ready to test this. You should be able to come over here. You can move this lever anywhere you want, obviously. It doesn't have to be there. You can put it on the side, run some repeaters over, do whatever you need to do to get the power over there. So we'll go ahead and throw the switch. That should turn everything on down here. These guys should begin moving. They do. Great. And then every so often, this guy should fire. Go back here, make sure these guys are draining. They are, so we're about to fire. When this fires, those blocks should all retract and then come back. So we should be good. And now, let's turn up the difficulty, and then we can see this thing in action. So we should be able to come up here. You should see guys spawning in there already. They are. Watch our sweepers move. And these guys will get pushed over to the end. And then they should all fall down. And then eventually this will open up and drop them through. Now, if you don't like the speed at which this thing's retracting, you can put like maybe half a stack of things in there instead if you'd like. And eventually these guys are going to crush everybody in there except for these guys. And these guys should all be pretty much one-hit kills. So get out your looting sword and start whacking them. Just like that. And that's all there is to it. And there we go. We've already got a wither skull. Alright, guys. Hopefully you liked that tutorial. Hopefully you find this useful. Something you want to build in your world. I know I'm going to be building it in mine. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, guys.